Let's continue our course Sustainable Energy and Green AI. Let's move to the next part of the lecture. Welcome to the third part of the lecture on cyber-physical systems for sustainable energy. Our focus will be how we can design sustainable CPS and AI solutions for smart buildings, a topic that sits at the intersection of technology, energy efficiency, and environmental responsibility. Buildings account for nearly 30% of global energy consumption, making them one of the largest contributors to carbon emissions. At the same time, as we integrate AI and CPS into these systems to make them smarter and more autonomous, we introduce an additional layer of computational energy demand. This creates critical question. How do we leverage AI and CPS to make buildings more sustainable without increasing their overall energy footprint? So, the challenge is clear. How do we reduce the carbon footprint of this intelligent system without compromising performance? This is where sustainable design becomes essential. We need to rethink how we build and deploy AI and CPS, making them energy aware, resource efficient, and aligned with broader environmental goals. On the slide, you will see a pie chart showing energy consumption by sector. Notice how buildings dominate the chart. This is both a challenge and an opportunity, because if we can make buildings smarter and greener, we can make a significant impact on global sustainability. That is why sustainability in CPS isn't just about efficient hardware, it's about energy-aware AI and system design. Next, we will look at the green AI and what it means and why it is becoming a key concept in this space. Let's now talk about Green AI, a concept that is central to designing sustainable smart building systems. Green AI is about building intelligent models that are not just accurate, but also energy efficient and environmentally responsible. In traditional AI development, the focus has been on maximizing performance, accuracy, speed, and scale, but often comes at high energy cost, especially during training and deployment. To quantify this, we use several technical metrics. First, the carbon footprint, measured in kilograms of CO2 equivalent, tell us how much greenhouse gas is emitted due to the energy consumed by air workflows. Second, FLOPs, or floating point operations, give us a sense of the raw computational effort required. And third, energy per interface. This is especially important in smart buildings. Their models run continuously to control lighting, HVAC, and security systems. Now, how do they measure these impacts? Tools like Code Carbon and MLCO2 Impact monitor the energy usage of AI processes and convert it into carbon emission based on the local energy mix. For example, running a model in a region powered by coal will have a higher footprint than the one powered by renewables. The diagram on the slide shows a comparison. Traditional AI might offer top-tier accuracy, but at steep energy cost. Green AI, on the other hand, aims for balanced trade-off, slightly lower accuracy, but significantly reduced energy consumption. In the context of smart buildings, this balance is crucial. We want systems that are smart enough to optimize energy use, but also efficient enough not to become part of the problem. Now let's look at the one of the central challenges in designing sustainable AI systems, the efficiency versus performance trade-off. In traditional AI development, the goal is often to maximize accuracy, but high accuracy typically comes at a cost. More parameters, more computation, and significantly more energy consumption. Take this example. A large model might achieve 98% of accuracy, but it consumes 10 times more energy than a compressed version of that achieves 96% of accuracy. That 2% gain might not justify the environmental cost, especially in smart buildings where the models run continuously. This is where Green AI comes in. It's not just about reducing energy, it's about finding the optimal balance between performance and sustainability. Technically, this is a multi objective optimization problem. We are not just optimizing a single metrics, we are balancing accuracy and energy efficiency. The concept of Pareto optimality helps here. A model is Pareto optimal if you cannot improve one metric without worsening the other. The trade-off curve is on the slide shows this visually. Models on the Pareto front represent the best possible compromises. In smart buildings application, this balance is critical. We want models that are accurate enough to make good decisions, but also efficient enough to run on edge devices or low power systems. AI models grow larger and more powerful. Their energy consumption becomes a significant concern, both for sustainability and for practical deployment, especially on edge devices. To address this, we use several energy aware design techniques. First, quantization reduces the precision of the numbers used in the model, for example, switching from 32-bit to 8-bit representations. This makes computation faster and less energy intensive, with minimal impact on accuracy. Next, pruning removes redundant or less important weights of neurons from the network. By trimming the model, we reduce the number of calculations required, which directly lowers the energy use. Next, knowledge distillation is another powerful technique. Here, a large, accurate teacher model trains a much smaller student model to replicate its behavior. The student model is far more efficient, yet still achieves a high performance. Finally, HAI refers to running these optimized models directly on local devices like smartphones or sensors. This avoids the need to send large amounts of data to the cloud, saving both energy and bandwidth. These strategies are crucial for making AI both sustainable and scalable in the real world applications. When we talk about sustainability in cyber physical systems, their architecture plays a critical role. Let's break it down to three key aspects: hardware, communication, and lifecycle. First, hardware. We prioritize low power sensors and controllers. These components reduce energy consumption without compromising performance, which is essential for long term efficiency. Second, communication. CPS relies on constant data exchange, so using energy efficient protocols like MQTT and CoAP helps minimize power usage during data transmission. These protocols are lightweight and optimized for IoT environments. And finally, lifecycle. Sustainability doesn't stop at deployment. Designing components for reuse and recycling ensures that when systems reach end of life, their materials can be repurposed, reducing electronic waste. Now that we have seen why communication is critical in CPS, let's dive deeper into how it can make it energy efficient. In smart buildings, constant data exchange between sensor controllers and actuators can consume a surprising amount of energy. This is where lightweight protocols come in. MQTT uses a publish subscribe model, which minimizes unnecessary data transmission and works well in low bandwidth environments. CoAP, on the other hand, is based on REST principles, meaning it uses a simple request response style similar to how the web works, but optimized for constrained devices. It even supports multicast, which is great for sending updates to multiple devices at once. By adopting these protocols, we are not only reduce transmission energy, but also extend device battery life and reduce network congestion. This is a small design choice that can have a big impact on overall sustainability of CPS. When they talk about sustainability in AI and CPS, it's not just about techniques and tools, it's also about following recognized standards. Two key standards stand out here. First, ISO 50001, which provides framework for energy management systems. It helps organizations systematically improve energy performance and reduce costs. Second, is IEEE P 2851, which focuses on AI sustainability. It offers guidelines for assessing the environmental impact of AI systems across their life cycle. Adhering to these standards ensures that our solutions are not only efficient but also compliant and future proof. They give us a common language and measurable benchmarks for sustainability. Let's look at a real world example of how AI can make smart buildings more sustainable. In this case, let's focus on HVAC systems, which are among the biggest energy consumers in building. The team used reinforcement learning model to optimize HVAC control. First, they applied quantization, a model compression technique which reduces the precision of weight and activation. This alone cut energy use by about 30% during the inference. Next, they deployed the model on the edge, meaning close to the building's control system rather than in the cloud. This reduced latency, improved responsiveness, and significantly lowered cloud computing costs. The result? A more energy efficient HVAC system without compromising occupant comfort. This example shows how combining AI techniques with smart deployment strategies can deliver both sustainability and performance. Looking ahead, there are two exciting directions for making AI in cyber physical systems even more sustainable. First, federated learning. Instead of sending all data to a central server for training, federated learning allows models to be trained locally on devices and then aggregate updates. This approach not only improves privacy but also reduces the energy cost of massive data transfers and centralized computation. Second, renewable aware scheduling. Imagine AI systems that do not just optimize building operations, but also schedule energy intensive tasks when the renewable energy like solar or wind is most available. This creates a synergy between AI and green energy sources, reducing reliance on the fossil fuels. The vision is clear: smart buildings that are not only intelligent but also powered by a clean energy, with AI orchestrating everything for maximum efficiency and sustainability. Let's wrap up. Here are the key takeaways from today's session. First, Greener is all about balancing efficiency and sustainability, not just about building smarter models, but also about doing so responsibly. They explored three more techniques: model compression to reduce computational load, Edge AI to bring intelligence closer to the data source, and lifecycle design to consider environmental impact from development to deployment. Finally, we highlighted the importance of standards and tools that help us measure, track, and improve sustainability across the AI lifecycle. So that was the final part of the second lecture. Thank you for your attention.